Hi YouTubers, it's Andre here from the DIY bench, and the purpose of today's video is to show you how to make an external male catheter. You might ask, who wants to use an external male catheter? Well, obviously males, but your question might be why. So if you go in for a prostate operation and you come out, you're equipped with what they call an internal catheter. So when that internal catheter comes out, then you might be looking for an external male catheter, because when the internal male catheter comes out, you leak and you need nappies to keep the leaks contained. So let's look at what materials you're going to need to do this, to make this. First of all, you're going to need a piece of mountain bike tube. I believe this is a 210 to 230 size mountain bike tube. This is partially put together, so I didn't want to remove this. This is a part of a funnel, and I mean you can buy funnels in sets, but it's obviously the funnel cannot be that big. But if you've got one this size or smaller, it's gonna be fine. Some tubing, these you can buy also from the hardware store. They use them for koi ponds, or little fountains that you find outside in the garden. I have some silicone tubing on hand, and this is the type they use in hospitals, and I prefer this. If you can get your hands on them, they're very flexible and they've got a better feel to them, where this is just really cheap, solid. But if you don't have anything else, this will work fine. And here I've got a smaller piece of tubing. This is from a pedal racing bike tube. You'll see the difference there. And you only need a small piece, like a snippet or so. And then you're going to make yourself a ring like this by looking for appropriate cool drink bottle. And this is a juice bottle, and you'll see this size is very close. I found this on a smaller juice bottle, but it's more or less the same size. It looks like it's actually exactly the same size. And you could see, you cut the top of it off, and you only need to leave a small little rim at the bottom, like that. Alright, so, and then you're gonna need some shoelaces, soft ones, because they're gonna make contact with your skin. And then just some things to do the build, some sandpaper, and the old reliable glue gun. And at the end, you'll probably, if you're going to do this, you're probably going to go for a prostate operation, and you will come back home with a carry bag like this. If you don't have one of these, then you can buy them from the hospital. You can get them. You will definitely come into contact with one of these things, one or two of them, if you're going for the operation. Okay, so how did I do it? The first thing is you start with a funnel part, and the funnel part, you're going to have to measure to the width or the size of this, because as you can see, what I've done here, I cut it down so it would go in snug in here, so it doesn't pull out easily. And that really helps to hold it in place while you hot melt it together. And I would say leave the length of the funnel as it is. Don't cut it off yet. I cut this one off too early, but luckily it was still fine. So you'll probably cut it a little bit bigger, and then you'll try and fit it, and then make it smaller till it fits real tight. Once that's done, you're going to take your old melt glue gun and you're going to melt it in here. Now obviously this you're just going to do on this outside because you can't get in there. So in order to make a good seal, you're going to take your sanding paper and you're going to sand the outside of it here very well, because that will make sure it bonds to the plastic better. And also on the inside, you can also clean it thoroughly with some alcohol, just to ensure a good bond. I had this come out once, so I had to do it again. So it'll probably just help. If it's gonna come loose, it will not. I only had this come out once, and I probably used this for about 3 weeks. Okay, so once this part is in place, obviously leave it to dry. Now the first time I used it, I had nothing in here, and obviously it's a battle because there's no support, and that's when I came up with this. So with this will keep the opening, and as you can see here, it should go in tight, and you don't really have to battle it that hard. It will just go in very well. This one is already tight, and that is what you want, but you're gonna have to put it in here and make sure it really climbs across the top, and that will make it hook on to the upper part, and that is exactly what you want. And there we go, and you can see if there's any sharp edges from the cut, you can pull this over and it will protect you from the sharp edges, but you can also sand that down and work it as you need it. And I mean, if you look at it, it's not gonna pull out here. If you want, this is a smaller piece I cut. This piece you can just put over here if you really think it's gonna pull off. I just put it on there for security, but I don't even think it's necessary. But there you go. You just need to work it there, more in there. And the last thing that you're gonna do, you're gonna take your shoelaces, or if you can get a piece of string that's soft enough, and you're gonna loop it around you. I'm not gonna loop it twice like I did it, but you will have to find a way. I'm just gonna show you. Once you pull it tight, that knot stays behind. Basically, this is the highest part. As you can see, it's the highest part here and here, and that is the part here. So the shoelace will not pull across. I never had that happen to me once. Once it's tight, it will stay there. I had it looped twice. You can even make 2 knots if you want, but I never had a problem. Then, I mean, your penis goes in here, you pull it across. You can put just some cream in here to make it easier. I found that helped. And the penis goes in here, and you wrap this around your waist, and it obviously the shoelaces will pull it towards your body. So I never had any problem with any slips. So the concept works very well. and maybe something different will work for you, but this really did the trick for me. And then obviously just in the front here, if you can find a funnel with a higher degree angle, or which can I say, which is what I'm saying is 60 degrees will work better than 30 degrees to make the flow, the outflow of urine better. Okay, I mean, once this is done, you basically have the most important part, and from here you connect this on. It goes on there, and you can decide what's going to be comfortable. If it's going to go out the left side of the leg, out of your undies or your nappy, or towards the right side. And for me it was towards the left side, and obviously then with your with the bag, this, how long this is gonna be is also gonna depend on how tall you are. That will determine where the bag is. Now I had the bag on my calf. I preferred it to sit out there so that the flow would work much better, because it was down low. But you can have this on your upper leg if you're gonna go to the shops. If you're gonna sit a lot, I think it's better sitting on your calf or to be on the floor, as it just makes the flow better. I think the most important part of this is that this is kept, because I mean obviously you cannot go and do handstands and that. Not that you're going to do it, but you want to keep this angle, because with the internal catheter the work is done, but with this, if you leak, it's going to come out here, and if it runs back, I never had this problem actually, it will come out here. But I found that if I did that, I never had any leaks. So the concept works very well. It keeps a good seal. But if you can keep the angle of this at least like that, I thought this worked great. And I mean, obviously, people are going to tell you, no, you shouldn't use an external catheter because you should start working the muscles. That's going to help you eventually to recover. But let me tell you this, for I cannot remember exactly how long, but for at least 2 weeks, because there are still so many muscles and things and nerves that need to repair themselves, and your body needs to heal. None of those things that you're going to try is going to work. So before you really begin the process of trying to use those muscles again, I'd say the days before you go to the physio, this thing will just help you get some of your life back. Otherwise, you're not going to want to move from your bed. You're just going to want to sit. And if that's what you want to do, it's fine. But I wanted to do small things, like I wanted to do the dishes and help my wife with the little one. So this really gave me, like I said, I think it's 2 weeks, or it was 3 weeks, and this thing really helped. Obviously, when you go to the physio, this comes out, and then your rehabilitation starts. But this was absolutely fantastic and great. It really works, and you can buy them from stores out there. I just couldn't find any, and like I said, that's why I made my own, and it was really well worth it. So anybody out there that is going for a prostate operation and is looking for something that can help them, some information, this is my piece of information to you. Like I said, you can go out there, you can buy them, they're available, they look like this. And you can probably, the only thing with this is it's soft, so you're going to have to make another adapter regarding these two parts, but I'm sure it can be done. So whatever way you're going to go, I really hope this video's information can help you. Thank you, everybody. Cheers.